I'm Dan from Make Music, and I'm here with composer, educator, and clinician Mike Kamuf, and he's gonna tell us some of his thoughts, expertise, ideas, experiences about his career. So, to start off, as a composer, where do you get your ideas from when it comes to sitting down and writing a new piece?
Um, a lot sometimes has to do with the group that I'm writing for, and sometimes what the either the series that I'm writing for, or if it's the commissioning piece, what the commissioning ensemble is looking for, and those limitations sometimes direct me as to where I'm going to go with the composition. Sometimes it can just be a simple idea that morphs into a larger composition. Sometimes it can be multiple ideas that get transposed into different ideas and such. But a lot of it has to do with the type of ensemble I'm writing for, and then whether it's an arrangement or if it's an original composition, then where the commissioning group wants me to go with the piece.
Got it. Great.
Yeah.
So when it comes to working with your own ensembles, how important is it to you to have a really balanced instrumentation versus just letting kind of students play the instruments that it'll be successful and interested in?
Yeah, it's a fine line, especially I've taught middle school for 27 years, and it's a fine line. You want the students to have that experience and feel good about themselves and have and play the instrument that they want to, but then it's also we need to have all the parts covered, right? So my feelings on that have changed post-COVID here, and that I think that it really needs to be an immersive experience for the students and the best experience that it can be possible for them. So my thought process this year was that I just kind of let things fall where they may, and it actually worked out pretty good. All the ensembles we had a top, we had a middle and a bottom, and it all worked out pretty well. But I think it's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's going to have their own unique situation as far as educators go, and you have to just have that. We're talking about instrumentation balance, but you have to have that balance of letting the kids experience what they want to, and having that group that sounds really good. I think every director has to kind of work it out for themselves and do what's best for their current situation that they're in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
When it comes to practice, how do you feel about tying student practice at home to grades?
So I think this is another situation too, where we have to be really, really careful with how we are, what we're holding kids accountable for at home. I think if we're using it, like for instance, if we're using smart music as a tool to assess students and then give them feedback at home, as opposed to having them play in front of the class or play in front of other students, it can be very, very powerful, and it can be very effective for those students that may be shy and don't want to play around others. But at the same time, we also want kids to have fun. So I think letting students explore smart music and or whatever practicing system they're using at home, or if it's just a book or whatever, but using that time at home also to explore other music and to give kids open-ended assignments as well. I think that's really great too. But tying it to assessment, it is powerful, and it can be helpful to students, but it can also turn students off to the practicing system that you're using, whether you're putting it in Google Classroom and having the kids record and you're sifting through all of them, or whether you're using smart music as your portal or whatever. It can be effective as an educator, but it can also turn the students off too. So you want to use it in a way where, as what I found is, you want to use it in a way that it's meaningful to your instruction and you can get positive feedback, but it doesn't weigh the students down.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a balance.
Yes.
And I think some of that balance has definitely shifted over the past 2 years.
Absolutely. It's been. We also want to make sure that students are engaged, and that we are holding them accountable for learning certain concepts. But it's not it's our job to teach those concepts to them in the classroom and use these assessment tools to make sure that they're doing it. But at home practice should not just be tied to just that in itself. Right.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us today.
Absolutely, Dan. Yep. Thank you.